So, the creator of the heavens, and then he was also going to make it another 7 years for the climate not to be able to provide food. So, at that time, when God restrained the rain and sent hunger and starvation and drought, where was the carbon emissions? For the first 7 years, there was food.
Okay.
Yes. So how long did it take to generate carbon emissions in the atmosphere?
To cause that.
To cause that. Yes. Because the hunger followed the year of plentiful by immediately. There was 7 years of bounty harvest. And then it was followed by 7 years of drought. In the scientific world, it should take a certain amount of years to generate certain level of or certain gigatons of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
That's right.
And then it will eventually impact on the climate. But in this case, it took off instantaneously.
That's right.
At the word of God. So he says, I am the Lord. Isaiah is speaking. I am the Lord, and that is my name. And my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. So when we decide to give humans the glory which belongs to God, it's unpardonable.
Okay.
Yes. In 42:9 he says, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you them. So before they come, God has declared it. And then 48:11 says, for my own sake, even for my own sake will I do it. How should my name be polluted? And I will not give my glory to another.
Okay.
So the issue of climate change on the face of the Bible is divine. It's controlled by
of God.
Yes, that's the finger of God. Now on the scale of human beings, it is scientific. And I am telling the religious community that they should look back into the scripture where we came from, and then they will hear the voice of our Creator. Now, if they don't, the scientific world is coming out with laws, with proposals, which eventually ensnare everybody. And by the time you have realized it, you've already committed a unpardonable sin. It's the next video.
Okay. Production, please, the next, that video 4 and 5, if you are ready, please let's watch them.
This is very clear. We must get on with the job of putting the Paris Agreement to full work. In early 2025, countries must deliver new nationally determined contributions. Every single commitment on finance, adaptation, and mitigation must bring us in line with a 1.5-degree world.
In the scorching heat of rural Tunisia, 80-year-old Hania Hikiri sets out on her grueling daily journey to fetch water, a burden she carries quite literally on her back.
This whole area is dry. If one had water at home, everyone would be free. They could fill whenever they wanted to. But at this age, I carry 2 containers and spend the entire afternoon here in the heat.
The old and the young, as well as those who work outside, among the most vulnerable to rising global temperatures, and a focus of the UN Secretary General's call to action on extreme heat.
If there is one thing that unites our divided world, is that we are all increasingly feeling the heat. Earth is becoming hotter and more dangerous for everyone, everywhere.
June was the 13th month in a row to set a new temperature record, putting 120 million people in the United States under heat advisory warnings, leading to the death of 1,300 Muslim pilgrims during Hajj, and closing schools in Asia and Africa, impacting more than 80 million children. The UN says global infrastructure needs investment to boost resilience and a reduction in fossil fuels to limit temperature rise.
I must call out the flood of fossil fuel expansion we are seeing in some of the world's wealthiest countries. In signing such a surge of new oil and gas licenses, they are signing away our future.
Under the Paris Climate Accord, 2025 is the year that nations are supposed to commit to a plan to reduce their carbon emissions and limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. And with the summer's record-setting temperatures, the heat is on. Kristen Salumi, Al Jazeera, the
Evans, according to Antonio Guterres, we are all feeling the heat.
Yes, we are.
And I like the way he pronounced it.
We do it. And according to the UN Paris Accord, 2025 is the year nations are supposed to commit to a plan to reduce carbon emissions. See, they should understand that 2025 has already been agreed upon, not yet to. It is already in the docket
Okay.
that countries will reduce their carbon emissions. There's a plan that has been laid down, and that plan is awaiting 2025. When that year comes, countries should follow that plan to reduce their carbon emissions, period.
That's right.
Good.
We heard it clear.
Very well. Now, in implementing Article 4.9, you're talking about Paris Agreement. In implementing Article 4.9 of the Paris Agreement, before you could do that, which has the 5-year interval of presenting the NDCs, before you could send your 5-year plan for it to take effect, you are also enjoined with Article 4.4 and 4.5, 4/4 and 4/5. It says country is developed country parties, that is countries that are taking the lead in, when it comes to the economy, the strength of nations' economies,
The wealthier nations.
Yes, they are supposed to take the lead in implementing the rules of the Paris Agreement, and then they are also expected to support the least countries, financially least countries who are not properly sound, the third world countries, they call them developing countries. They should assist them in also implementing the Paris Agreement.
Okay.
So per Article 4/4 and /5, America will take the lead, and then subsequent rich countries will also follow in that order.
That's right.
And then they should be helping the small countries. This was adopted in the Paris Agreement far back in 2016. We can watch the video.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Production, please. Video 6 to 11. Please, let's watch them for evidence sake.
On this day, the Paris Agreement on Climate Change enters into force. It is a historic day for people and the planet.
My solemn duty to protect America and its citizens. The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord Thank you. Thank you. But begin negotiations to re-enter either the Paris Accord or in really entirely new transaction on terms that are fair to the United States, its businesses, its workers, its people, its taxpayers. So we're getting out, but we will start to negotiate, and we will see if we can make a deal that's fair. And if we can, that's great.
And the first order I'm going to be signing here relates to COVID, and this is the first one I'm signing. And healthcare and other things that we'll give you copies of these executive orders. And the third one I'm going to sign, and that's what we do while you're all here, is the commitment I made that we're going to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord as of today. America is back. America is back. Diplomacy is back. America is back. I speak to you today as President of the United States at the very start of my administration, and I'm sending a clear message to the world. America is back. Our plans are ambitious, but we are America. We're bold. We're unwavering in the pursuit of jobs and innovation, science and discovery. We can do this. We must do this, and we will do this. I'm now going to sign the executive order to meet the climate crisis with American jobs and American ingenuity. And I want to thank you all. I'm going to go over and sign that now. Use the right pen, sir. The first order I'm signing is tackling the climate crisis at home and abroad.
Okay, welcome once again. If you've just joined us, this evening we are doing part 6 of Let's Go Forward. And Evangelist is saying that the world has come together and started the journey of breaking God's unpardonable sin, or committing the unpardonable sin. So Evangelist, we've watched some series of videos.
Yes. 1. The Paris Agreement on Climate Change. The video indicated that it has taken effect 2016. So from 2016, we expected the rich countries to implement the Paris Agreement at their nationally determined levels. And per the agreement, the developed party countries should take the lead. So America was to take the lead.
According to the prophecy.
According to the prophecy, and also according to the agreement. As for them, because they are irreligious, I will not put them on the scale of prophecy.
That's right.
I'm taking them on their own words, and then for having done that, we take them now on the scripture. The Paris Agreement, Article 44 demands, Article 4944 demands that the richer nations should take the lead. Here we saw Donald Trump say we are getting out. So the richest nation couldn't take the lead. That is the agreement. Meanwhile, prophecy have indicated long ago that America will take the lead in enacting laws that will contravene the laws of God, especially the Sabbath commandment. America will do so in the future. As to how she was going to do it, we don't know. We only know she will do it.
That's right.
So
One day.
Yes, so we set the prophetic lens on America. Good. In the Paris Agreement, the Holy See has sneaked into the Paris Agreement the transgression of the 7-day Sabbath in the name of the Laudato Si, and then in the name of the Sunday Sabbath, which is the Laudato Si. We'll get there just in a moment.
To fight the climate change.
Yes. So when the Paris Agreement went into effect, Sunday law went into effect, that order, which America was supposed to implement beginning 2016. And then Trump won the election and he kicked America out of the whole deal.
Wow.
And the whole world couldn't do anything because the agreement says the rich nations has to take the lead. And prophecy has also said so. So even if the agreement even the agreement didn't say so, by prophecy, the whole world will be restrained, awaiting America.
That's right.
And that was what happened. because it is uncalculable. You cannot understand, you cannot calculate it to arrive at an answer. That the whole world that signed the Paris Agreement was over 196 countries.
That's right.
So if one,
America
says, I was not going to join the agreement, why couldn't the rest of the 195 countries of war come together and implement the Paris Agreement?
Yes, it's a question to our viewers.
Yes.
Because according to the prophecy, America is to play the lead role.
Exactly.
And America has been withdrawn by Donald Trump.
But Donald Trump, so they couldn't do anything. For 4 years, we saw prophecy being demonstrated, prophecy being fulfilled.
That's right.
So when Biden won the election, on the same day, he signed America back on the Paris Agreement. We watched the video. And then the same President Biden announcing twice that America is back. Diplomacy is back. And then he topped it up by signing the tackling climate crisis home and abroad.
That's what I don't understand.
Exactly. Our president, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, including all other heads of states of the world, have all signed how to tackle climate change in their various countries. How many of our leaders ever signed tackling climate change both home and abroad?
With the exception of Donald Trump,
America,
Joe
Biden. So that is how the prophecy is playing. And when it happens like this, it reminds us of what the prophecy have said, that America will take the lead and then all other countries will follow. And they are also setting a deadline to commit the unpardonable sin. So we are urging Seventh-day Adventists in particular, because they are the only global entity that is holding to the 10 Commandments. So we are employing them and calling upon them that they should rise and lift up the banner of the commandments of God, because we are approaching the deadline.
Okay.
The UNFCCC, they have set a deadline, and we shouldn't wait for their deadline to meet us. We sat here and the COVID deadline came, we couldn't do anything. We have picked lesson from that. So we wouldn't wait for them to impose another seeming method for which they will bridle our mouth. This time we will sound the alarm before they attempt.
That's right.
Yes, so we can bring in the next video.
Okay.
Yes.
A word to the wise is enough. The Seventh-day Adventist Church, please don't keep quiet. Blow the trumpet. Okay, production, please, videos 12, 13, and 14. Let's watch them.
So why is this year critical for transparency? Because this year, the Enhanced Transparency Framework comes to life. By the end of 2024, countries should have submitted their first biennial transparency reports, also called BTRs in climate lingo. These reports will provide a transparent snapshot of countries' progress in cutting emissions, putting in place climate policies, and providing resources where they're needed most. The reports are a crucial tool in the Paris Agreement toolbox. They will help build up an evidence base that governments can use to design stronger national climate plans, also called Nationally Determined Contributions, or NDCs, and other climate policies.
And a video also you don't know Simon Steele or Pega Paris Agreement no apopo abeka ho. Say no ye wo de kosi afia bai. Na hyase na no pahima afia bai 20 na pahima me say obia di mara no aye nyina akogya atom so. Say ye nyina ya boa no popo akoka ho. We na gya atom America de chiri. And America de for some me ho ko ye ni. Pise profo yi wonya pija. Na me ka say mo asa na me ma no si. Me pa mo chew. Anyi se bia misura asem me kai. Na me nim se no krotro. And now, Bosumi a tosun si na wie or try the tosun son and dedikai. Aka Bosumi si na fiaso. Na afin sumien about to be cost for America. Fine. In from my buffer mason, a kakrata baba. And ye one say by the best sorry, I didn't teach Nana and Rebecca said, or cook Tokoi via Nahinia ko evia on to us beam, and Yamawa. And to obey beer when a Hindi na came obey. No, the chili jaboko. The Pacific End.
Obanyansa 4-7 penisi bunube na yenkana sem.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox, and we have some breaking news as President Joe Biden has just announced that he is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race. This happening just moments ago. You are taking a look at the letter that he has just issued, and we are going to read it in its entirety. It says, "My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, in lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We've provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today." It goes on to say, quote, "I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it had been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today what I have always, that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America." The letter signed Joe Biden.
Evans, this program is a very serious program,
Yes.
and we don't just say things for saying sake.
Yes.
But prophecies are unfolding.
Very well. We call the Revelation Hour.
That's right.
So the names is
Speak for itself.
Speaks for the program. Now, in this last tranche of the videos that we are airing, our first video of this last, the gentleman, the Executive Secretary, Simon Steele, is opening the toolbox of the Paris Agreement this 2024. We watch the video so that by the end of 2024, every tool in the Paris Agreement will be busy. That means every legal instrument in the Paris Agreement will be put into action.
That's right. And he's quoting a date.
He's made by the end of 2024. We watched the video.
That's right.
No doubt about that. And the video which followed was in Akan. It was one of our programs here.
That's right.
Which we give the prediction that President Joe Biden was not going to contest the 2024 elections that to elect president for 2025.
That's right.
Even though he is on the ticket. Now we made it clear that per our information from scripture, from our studies, we can project and predict that President Biden would not stand as a presidential candidate. So we are waiting for the letter to come and confirm it, and then to have all the evidence to say it.
That's right.
Very well.
And I think our viewers attest to that.
That's
the
right.
date and everything that we did that program.
Yes, it was 30th June when we made that prediction.
That's right.
And then the third video confirmed what we had said. They read the letter because
right.
we had indicated that we are waiting for the letter to come out. Yes. At the time of 30th June, Biden was still on the ticket. Campaigning. Yes. So they should understand that we are using prophecies over here. Now, many people are saying, oh, Donald Trump is around the corner. They are projecting Trump to win the election. I don't have a problem. I said it the previous week, and let me say it again. that it was prophecy that took Trump out from the White House.
That's right.
And you cannot find it in prophecy. That prophecy is bringing him out, bringing him back again.
That's right.
Because before the 2020 elections, which installed him, at 2016 when he was installed, and then at the 2020 election when he will be dethroned, we also said it on this program.
That's right.
3 months to time that he was going to lose the election, because prophecy has got in Revelation chapter 17, and the key players there needs to be in one mind.
That's right.
And Trump's mind is not in tune with what prophecy have said. Therefore, he could not be part of the team.
These have one mind.
Exactly. In Daniel 2:43-44, where you have the iron and clay mixed together, Donald Trump is not fitting into the iron nor the clay. He cannot mix with the world. Therefore, he has to be eliminated, because prophecy has gone to a certain place where the whole world is coming together. In Revelation 18 in verse 4, when it says Babylon, in verse 3, when the Babylon is become the habitation of devils. Yes, so there is a union over there, union of church and state, a union of all the religious bodies in this world with the state are coming together. And the ideology of Trump is contrary to whatever prophecy have said. So he has to be taken out of the equation for the rest of the world.
Somebody who will champion the same agenda
to move in order for prophecy to be fulfilled. Now there is a picture on the screen. I took it on my screen at home, and the date is 24th of July 2024. It says Biden vows to get as much done as possible, as possibly can. Let me read it. It says Biden vows to get as much done as I possibly can during remaining time in the White House. We said this in the video, that when Biden steps off from the ballot ticket, he will do everything,
because his time is very limited.
Yes, within the shortest, within his time left. Yes, he will do everything that he has to do. We said it, and lo and behold, it's there. Now, the people who are hanging on Trump, we have told them that it's prophecy that kicked out Trump. So we have never seen in prophecy that Trump is coming back again. Yes, if they claim to have seen it, they should come. Now, let's read from the Washington Post.
Okay.
Yeah, the headlines.
What Trump promised oil CEOs as he asked them to steer $1 billion to his campaign.
Yes, that is May 9.
That's right.
2024.
Yeah, May 9, 2024.
Okay.
Donald Trump has pledged to scrap President Biden's policies on electric vehicles and wind energy, as well as other initiatives opposed by the fossil fuel industry.
By the fossil fuel industry. Very good. Let's rest there. Now, this is Donald Trump. He has never changed. He is anti-climate change. Why would he gather the oil gurus and then ask them to donate $1 billion into his campaign fund, so that he will use it to campaign, and when he wins the election, he is coming to scrap. Yes, he will scrap all the climate laws which President Biden has put in place. So you can see that as for Trump and his climate policy,
he never changed.
He has never changed. And the Sunday law is in the climate policy, it's in the Paris Agreement. So Trump can never lead the world into passing a Sunday law. He's a Christian, so to say, and that's what he says. So I admit he's a Christian. For America alone to rest on Sunday and go to church Sundays, Trump has no problem about that. He can easily do that. But the whole world has to agree to that. And he cannot compel the Arab world to go to live Sunday holy. No.
Because they've given him some money.
Exactly.
And he has to work according to what
with America has to do that. But with the rest of the world, he cannot. He cannot impose the Christian Sunday on the non-Christian nations, except with the Paris Agreement. That is why the Holy See was smart to use that channel to get all these people on board. So once Donald Trump kicks against the Paris Agreement, he is kicking against all other nations on resting on Sundays, and he cannot fulfill the prophecy. Now our last video.
Production, please, video 15 being our last video for this evening.
Now the Nobel laureate studded panel has moved at 100 seconds before a climate catastrophe.
Without U.S. leadership and participation, there will be no winners from this climate crisis. We will all become losers.
The world's second biggest polluter is being called out.
Evangelist, with that American participation and leadership, you will all be losers.
Losers.
96 countries, one is out,
Yes.
and the rest will be losers.
All will be losers. It tells you the power of prophecy. Yes. And you see, having said this, let me say this to our viewers, and God bless them for donating money to keep this program on. There are two things that comes with prophecy, which I want to share with them. One, it's a responsibility of God to give us the prophecy, and it is his own responsibility to make the prophecy come to pass. That is for the Lord.
Okay.
When God gives the prophecy, it is not in our power to design ways and means for the prophecy to come to pass.
No, we have no hand in there.
It is his own plan to make the prophecy come to pass. That is the side of the Lord. Our side of the deal is that we should study what the Lord has written to us in prophecy, and then watch the events as they happen and compare them to what the Lord has said. If it tallies with what God has said, it is our responsibility to believe the prophecy.
That's right.
Full stop. So when God had given the prophecy, and he has given occasion, things are happening to confirm what he has given, then it is for our responsibility to believe what God has said. That's all we are doing here on the script. We watch the events, and then we predict. That's what happens. Now, let me quickly chip in this. We have an English church in Tema. I should have, this announcement is late. They have been telling me, I've kept forgetting it. God forgive me my sins. There is an English church in Tema, Committee 10, at the Data Link University campus. There's an English church there. So those living in Tema community who want an English church, they should just go to Committee 10, Data Link University. The SGA campus church, they worship over there every Sabbath on campus. And the English church is there.
Is there? Okay.
Yes, they should join. Yes.
So if you want to study the Bible in English, or if you want to join any English church, you can join the Community 10.
Yes.
Data Link University Campus Church.
Yes.
And then study together. I think we still have some few minutes that we can pick up some 2-3 calls.
Yes.
So please, let's hear from you if you've understood everything. So the world has come together to commit the unpardonable sin, and they have given a date that by 2025 everything within the Paris Agreement need to be implemented. So this sends a signal to the people of God who are waiting for his soon coming that we are almost home. So call us and let's hear from you. 0501 484 671. You can call us. The program is live. And then let's hear from you. 0501 484 671. Evangelist. Yes. But my worry is the Seventh-day Adventist. It seems all the things that are happening, it looks as if they don't have any idea. Meanwhile, they have it. So why are they quiet?
I think, like we said, we are not honoring our side of the deal. God gave signs, and he's made all those signs come to pass. He has finished his deal. It is
Let's take this caller. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, my dear.
Hello, good evening.
Please, your name and where you are calling us from?
My name is Lydia. I'm calling from Osham.
Okay, Madam Lydia, raise up your voice a bit for us. And your submission, please.
Hello, happy Sabbath.
Happy day. Oh, we've lost her. You can also call us. We still have some few minutes. 0501 484 671. Even you were saying something.
Yes, God gave the prophecies, and he has made the prophecies to come to pass. We have said the prophecies and compare events to the prophecies, and we have to believe it. This is the side of the deal. When he said a virgin shall conceive and bring forth a son, that was God's statement. And it was he who made Mary pregnant, and then Christ was born. Now it is left to human beings to believe what God has done. This is all that we are having problem with. So Seventh-day Adventists, they should stop following the wisdom of this world, because those things are foolishness in the sight of God, according to the Bible. And they should just take God at his word, that these things which we call climate change, God does not need the wisdom of this world to define his word. No. When he says he was going to make the sun give us signs, he created the sun and he knows what he will do with it. So we don't need carbon emissions to to change the climate. He has been doing so.
Yes, it seems we have one caller on the line. Hello? 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 It seems the lines are giving us problem. Hello? Okay, Evans, I think we've lost that caller too.
Yes. In the days of Elijah walked to the palace of King Ahab and told him, as the Lord liveth, there shall not be rain or dew on this land except by my word. How could the climate change suddenly in a twinkling of an eye and then produce drought for 3.5 years? How could it be? How much carbon dioxide did Elijah...
At that time, were we having automobiles around at that time?
Ask as a scientist. Or did Elijah commanded carbon dioxide into the atmosphere to change the climate and produce heat and drought?
Reduce the ozone layer?
Yes.
For...
How come? So we are saying that